Well, how you doing? Mr. DJ is back, counting down the fantasy playlist. I'm up to number 12 already. On the way to number 1, the fantasy playlist of June the 11th, 1984. At number 12, up from number 2. This was a huge hit in the summer of 1984. I thought this was a good rock and roll record, although Blender magazine considers this one among the 50 most worst rock and roll records of all time. Huey Lewis and the News, the heart of rock and roll is still beating. It sure is. In the big 80s, baby. The video to this song was complicated to make. And you can see they're in New York City, and I think they're on the West Coast. There's not much footage on New York City, in the New York City part of this video, but I'm telling you, it took them 13 hours to film. That's according to the director of the video. His name is Ed Grills, and took 13 hours to film, consecutive hours to film the video in Brooklyn and then in Times Square, and it was cold as hell. It was 21 degrees, and you can see if you watch real close, you know, when Huey Lewis is falling up against these guys, against the band members in Times Square, you see a little bit of that frost coming out of their breath. The bridge, the scene, and the footage of Brooklyn Bridge is a very small part of this video. But this took a long time to shoot because the film, the camera was on the helicopter. They were shooting it from a helicopter, but it couldn't get close enough to the Brooklyn Bridge get a real good shot of the band. Although it did succeed. You can see these guys walking down. The window, the bridge was windy as well. And between takes, particularly between takes, the guys were just freezing to death. But I guess it was worth it. It's one of the most memorable videos I remember watching back in the 80s. Night Tracks, WTBS, they were on this thing big time. At number 12, Huey Lewis and the News, the heart of rock and roll.